Hey everybody, it's Thursday, it's Sap and Chats, and it's time for boxing. On this episode, we are going to take a look at the domination of Boots Ennis in Philadelphia. Also, we're going to take a look at Nakatani's fight coming up in Japan this weekend. Plus, Jake Paul, Mike Perry are going to throw down all this and so much more. And Shakira Stevenson's world tour on this episode of Sap and Chat. So strap in and thank you for leading us into your years. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of SAMP&CHANCE Boxing. I'm your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always, my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you this Friday Eve, Thursday evening?
I'm doing pretty good, especially since my prediction was exactly spot on. Exactly what I said Boots would do. Finish him in round 5 because he wants to outshine Crawford in round 6. So I was happy to see that.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we'll break it all down. The weekend is upon us, so that's always a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
A quiet week in the world of professional boxing. I mean, there's tons of things going on in boxing, don't get me wrong, but regional and this and that, but big name boxing, it's very limited this weekend, and all eyes are going to be in Tampa, Florida for the Jake Paul and Mike Perry fight coming up. But
Yeah.
for that, let's get back to Boots and crew and let's talk about that. Let's get this started. There we go. All right, brother man. Your thoughts on the fight. How did you see it?
Well, I called it exactly what was going to happen because people don't understand. Boots wants to fight Crawford. He wants to fight the top guys. He has never really fought a top guy yet. He's good enough to fight a top guy. So what does he do? Like I told you, everybody was going to do. Finish David Avanesian before round 6. Why round 6? People were before round 6 because Crawford finished him in round 6. He wants to show everybody I can do it better than you. I did it in round 5. Brilliant performance. I mean, David Avanesian had never had a chance. We knew this was going to happen. I'd say Crawford was more surgical of how he finished off David Avanesian. Boots was a little more sledgehammerish, if you want to say, just more foot on the gas. He just pummeled him. Like what else can you say? But amazing performance by Boots, and if him and Crawford get it on, could be one of the biggest fights in boxing. Nobody can deny Boots anymore. That was his coming out party. It's too bad it wasn't Cody Crowley. I hate to say that he would have beat Crowley too, not as easily. But the guy he's the real deal, and man, is he fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Evanesian had his moments a couple of times there. Once in I think the best opportunity he had, which is interestingly enough, he looked the best in the fifth round. He never came out of the corner after the fifth round, but that beginning of that fifth round, he was really putting on some pressure. My only concern with Boots was that he's been away from a year. So what would he look like? And he did not look
Like I
like,
was saying, he's too skilled, too
right?
athletic. It won't
He
phase him.
looks so sharp and so surgical, like you said, right? I mean, well, Terrence is more surgical, but this guy was just hitting on point. Everything was just landing from, and it was just a dismantling. The one criticism that I think a lot of people had that I read about, not necessarily my own, was the fact that people felt that he was playing with him too much. He was toying with him, but that's, in my opinion, Evanesian's strength. He was so strong. Like this guy was just taking these
Mm-hmm.
shots like nobody's business. Yeah, maybe someone else would have gone down in 3 or 4, but this guy
Yeah,
just kept taking the shot after shot like a real strong guy, man.
was.
So
Yeah, he took a good beating.
he took a good beating. How does he do against Terrence? I think Terrence eats him up. I don't think he's ready for Terrence yet. I think he needs a couple more profile matches against prominent competition before he thinks about Terrence. That's just my opinion. I know that the Sheik was on the phone with Eddie Hearns after that fight that night, trying to say like let's make the Boots versus Ennis fight. That's more doable than anything else. So I mean that's something we might be seeing
The
in
one
the
thing that people forget about Crawford, he's 36 now. So eventually his reflexes and timing is going to slow down. Happen to Manny Pacquiao.
yeah.
It's happened to Tyson Fury. Maybe it won't happen this fight, but it's going to happen soon. And if it does, Boots is going to put him down. I'm not saying Boots will beat him, but it's going to be an amazing. If it happens, it's going to be one of the best fights in a long time, at least on paper.
Well, I feel if that fight happens, it has to happen in the next year, like you said, because of age and everything else,
Yeah,
catching up to guys. This is the moment that fight has to happen. But yeah,
absolutely.
you know what? That undercard was pretty good too. I had no problem with it. I think the whole card was really good. And I
It
was
was
trying to
solid.
well, I was comparing it to what we saw last week in New Jersey at the Prudential Center, two hockey arena, basketball arenas, same capacities. I mean, I think Eddie Hearn and Matchroom took a gamble in booking in booking that, but they booked it and it was beautiful and it worked out, and yeah, it was really good. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on here. Let me just
Boots did exactly what he was supposed to do. Got out there, finished his opponent, and he looked good doing it.
yeah.
Something Shakur Stevenson wasn't able to do like that. So he looks good. He just upped his stock like you wouldn't believe. So happy for him. Exciting fighter to watch.
No, I'm excited as well. All right, man, let's move on to the next round here. We will go to Japan. Nakatani is fighting this weekend. He is going up against one Vicente Astrolibio, Philippine fighter. I mean, the odds are against this guy, unfortunately. But
not as any Filipino fighter. Manny Pacquiao's Filipino fighter. Guy who's been working with Manny Pacquiao, training with him under his tutelage. Now, in saying that doesn't mean he's going to win.
No,
but this guy has a little bit of a pedigree. He's not going to be a pushover, but yeah.
Kambosos George comes from that tree too, right? Like,
exactly.
George Kambosos comes from that tree as well.
A little bit. He trained with Pacquiao a little bit, not much, but you can have the best. You can have the best fighter in the world like Pacquiao trained. It doesn't mean you're going to be like them, right? We've seen that with Jordan and Gretzky. Yeah. I mean, you can only teach guys so much. But yeah, this Junto Nakatani, he's like besides Inoue, he's the second most exciting fighter in Japan. He's actually can make a case for. Some people say he's a top 10 pound for pound. I don't think he is, but this guy's exciting to watch. This is going to be a fun fight. Actually, it's going to be fireworks.
Well, Junto Nakatani, if Inoue wasn't around, this guy would be the #1 guy in Japan right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a case of circumstance that this one guy above you is just that much more better. But yeah, this guy's got power in both hands, and I believe last year I gave him knockout of the year against Maloney, right? He's lanky, his jabs, just the way the way he throws everything. I mean, I haven't seen too much of Vincent fight before.
Nobody really has. Nobody really has.
I really don't have a lot to compare, but based on who Nakatani is, and I'm not one for the bookies and stuff. But just looking at this, I mean, he's coming in 27-0. Astrolobio is coming in at 19-4 with a record. So, I mean, do you think this is going to be a whitewash, or do you think he has to take him a bit more seriously?
I think he's going to take it a little bit seriously just because I know how hard he's training. The only reason I know who this guy is and about him is because he trains with Pacquiao. Pacquiao trains all the time. Even when he's not fighting, he still does boxing training. Right. People don't realize about it. He likes to run, skip rope, hit the bag. So Vincent has been training alongside of him. That doesn't mean he's going to beat Nakatani. He's not going to beat Nakatani. I think it'll be a little bit better a fight than people think it'll be. I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks. This guy's has a but he's still going to Nakatani finishes them out. And the thing about Nakatani Inoue, we got to get him over to North America. You got to fight over here. It's fine to fight in Japan. You want to be a star, you got to come over here. Or to Saudi Arabia, one of the two.
Yeah.
So I got Nakatani by round 7. He's going to finish him.
Well, the way I'm kind of looking at it here, I'm the same vote as you. I think he's going to get it done under 10 rounds myself, knockout or stoppage. Do you think there's a lot more pressure on Nakatani because of Inoue and because of the position he holds above him? I mean, there must be something internal there, like just like that pressure of it kind of sucks,
not at all,
right?
Because most people don't know who Nakatani is. That's the thing, right? Only the hardcore boxing fans know him. Inoue is a little more of a household name, so I don't think there's a lot of pressure on him. Maybe pressure within himself, but I don't think there's a lot of media pressure on him. He's just a good fighter that's expected to win, and he's going to win. I don't think it's too much pressure because most people don't even know this fight's happening. But most other boxing shows aren't even previewing this fight.
Maybe in Japan there's pressure. Maybe not outside of Japan.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe that's probably right. But
well, I mean, how long is it going to take to get these guys over here? Because I mean, we know who they are, right? But like we talk about in the wrestling show, the casual fan, the casual Joe,
and it's too bad because these guys are excited to watch.
Well, that's the thing. So what do you think it is that's stopping them from wanting to come over here? Are they afraid to come here?
No, they make so much money fighting in Japan. They sell out these arenas. They're like godlike over there. And for them, it's like they make so much money there. Why come fight here, I guess? But eventually the promoters have to bring them over here and get them fighting other people because you only fight so many Asian fighters,
Yeah. Well, my only concern with any of that is that the fact of the matter is that you're too comfortable in your environment. How good are you outside of Japan? Like, I mean, it's just like you look at all these other guys. Look at where George has gone. He's gone to New York. He's gone to Oklahoma from Australia. I mean, he goes all over the place where the fights are. Most guys do. So I'm almost wondering, is there like a special privilege that these Japanese guys have that they don't have to leave and still regarded in the top 10? Like, how can you just
No, because Japanese fans, they look at their top top celebrities and their top athletes godlike. We don't do that in North America. So
but
there's a little bit of that too.
From a boxing perspective, doesn't it play into the top 10 of where you fought and what you're willing to risk to go fight in different places? I mean, right, that's the way I kind of look at it. So are they justifiably 1 and 10 in the top 10 ranking? As is that fair, considering they don't put the legwork in, they just stay at home?
I know. Yeah. Well, anyway, so exciting the way he finishes, guys. The Nakarati, he's gonna have to prove himself.
Well, like I said, man, he got the knockout of the year, right? Last year, not just from us, but from other, reputable sources. A lot of people saw that guy. So let's see where they go from there, man. But hey, you know what? From Japan, let's go to Tampa, Florida. Let's take a look at possibly sleeper of the year here, man. Like I don't know what to expect from this, but let's get into it, man. Mr. Jake Paul is, he was supposed to fight Mike this weekend, but he's fighting a different Mike and Mike Perry. A very, very interesting selection because this could be a dangerous fight for Jake.
Jake's going to take him to task. And here's why I tell you that. Sure, he's a bare knuckle fighter. Here's a problem with Mike Perry. He comes in a straight line. He has no head movement. He doesn't move his head. Jake is going to take his head off his shoulders. He may hit hard. See, the thing about bare knuckles, you don't have any gloves or any protection, so you cut easy, right? But your hands are still taped. But these part is open. People don't realize that. So you cut easy, right?
Yeah.
So Mike Perry hits hard. He's got a little bit of skill, but Jake is a way more skilled. He's been training harder. He's a better athlete. Mike has no head movement. He comes in on a straight line. Make for an exciting car crash. But Jake, if he's not going to move his head, if he's not going to bob and weave and slip, Jake's going to take him down. So I expect Jake Paul to finish him. It's going to be exciting though, because Mike likes to bang. This is not going to be a technical fight.
Well, here's my take on it. I think just because of the bare knuckle, Mike Perry's got a hard head. You know what I mean? Like, and I really feel that he's just going to come head on and take those shots. I mean, if he can handle the shots from a bare knuckle punch, and he's gone up against the likes of Luke Rockhold and some of the bigger names out there as well that are still viable punchers. My only concern for Jake here is that
basically, but he's fighting MMA guys though, right? He's not fighting Jake.
Well, I mean, bare knuckles.
Trust me, Mike Perry has no head movement. Mark my words, like I predicted the Boots fight. Same thing here. He will not move his head. He's going to come in a straight line, which is 2 no-nos, and he's going to get put to the canvas because of that. He might hit Jake hard and get crazy, but Jake knows this.
Though. But do we know if Jake can take a punch?
Absolutely. Got hit harder than Mike Perry. Bare knuckle just means your knuckles are exposed. Doesn't mean you hit any harder than the guys.
No, I understand. But I mean, of all the guys that he's fought, this is probably going to be the hardest test, even over Tommy Fury, in my opinion, right? I mean, not to say that Jake hasn't improved or anything. I just think
but these bare knuckle guys, not all of them, it's mostly just a barroom brawl, right? There's no technique.
Jake has to be really careful for the first 3 rounds, in my opinion. If he can weather Mike Perry over the first 3 rounds, I think then he can slow down the fight and what have you. I think it's really going to come down to cardio.
I don't even think he'll even need to weather much of a storm. Just like I said, if you don't move your head off the line and you keep your head straight at this level, that may one thing in a club, but when you're fighting pros, you don't move your head off the line, you come straight, you're going to go down. That is amateur 101 hour.
I want to have some fun with this one, man, because I'm kind of feeling Mike Perry. Nothing against Jake Paul. I'm proud of what he's been able to do and, create and do on his own. So nothing against him. But I'm going to take Mike Perry in 5 rounds.
No, Jake. This is a town round fight. No, Jake's going to finish him. Jake will have him out of there by round 7 or round 8.
Okay, so you're saying
Mike is just not a skilled fighter. He's just a brawler.
No,
he's like a tank habit.
Just for fun. I'm going to say Mike Perry in 5.
No, fair enough, but it's not happening. You trust me. When it comes to technique, he has no technique, and that's
never know, man. I mean, this is the weird thing. I don't think he's fought anyone who punches harder than him. I don't think he's fought anyone. I mean, this might be the youngest guy he's fighting ever.
Perry?
Well, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's fine and dandy, dude. But people have a misconception of bare knuckle. Yeah, it's crazy. You cut, but they don't hit any harder than.
No, I get that. I get that 100%. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that the way he fights and that he's never fought someone like that, right? I mean, in your face, coming at you with a hard chin.
Yeah, because all they really do in bare knuckles, they just kind of go to the middle and just bang. There's no technique. A lot of it, some of it, not really. So lack of technique, but it makes for good action, though.
I will say this, I would say the spoiler of this is probably going to be better than any of the Jake Paul fights that he's had up to date in terms of, being challenged and the competition and just the fight itself. So I'm excited for that. And really,
I think you're overvaluing Mike Perry. I mean, he's all right, but like I said, he's never been anybody with skill like that. Luke Rockhold was great in UFC, but he's not a boxer.
Matt, well,
Anderson Silva had a better career than Luke Rockhold, and Jake finished him. So
Well,
I
Luke,
mean,
Luke fought Mike Perrier. He never fought Jake. He fought him in bare knuckle.
no, I know that's what I'm saying. So I mean, Jake's fought Anderson, Lucas fought Mike, right?
Yeah,
Who had
yeah,
a
yeah,
better
yeah.
MMA career? Anderson. So I mean, it kind of
No.
washes up. What I'm saying is, you'll hear from the commentators. He comes in with his head straight. That's the worst thing you can do,
Yeah, fair
and
enough,
he
fair
doesn't
enough.
move his head. He'll get
Well,
knocked out.
you'd figure he'd be training for it, but let's see. You see, right? Let's see what happens.
You
I'm
can't
looking.
start to teach new habits when you're that old.
I get you, brother. I get you. All
We'll
right.
see though. It'll be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to it.
So we mentioned in the intro, Shakir Stevenson was at the Boots fight meeting with Eddie Hearns. He's going around now trying to find a new promoter. What is he worth, man? And here's the thing: he didn't do well live gate wise, but he did well on ESPN.
That's because it's free. Nobody's going to buy a pay per view for Shakur Stevenson because his fights are boring.
Yeah.
He's not an exciting fighter. He's even less exciting than Mayweather because at least Mayweather would talk crap and make you want to watch him, right? Some of Mayweather's fights were exciting, some weren't. Shakur's overvalued himself, and until he has an exciting fight, he's trying to. He's more trying to go to the highest bidder. I don't blame the guy. I hope he gets paid well, but I think he's overvalued himself. He'll probably end up at Matchroom, I would assume. But dude, that last performance you put on, people were booing you and leaving the building. That's how bad it was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You want to be, it wasn't even a pay per view match. People would have paid for that. I mean, he's got to fight better. He's got to. I don't know. He's skilled, but he's boring to watch.
Well, my concern is that like I don't know what the issue was there, man. Like I don't know why he couldn't get the job done. And I mean, like I said, that's 2 fights in a row that he's looked really subpar. I mean, it's no way to kind of leave your promoter considering, like I mean, these guys are gonna have to go way over above what I think he's worth, like you said. I mean, I think his best bet should have stayed with Top Rank and take the money.
I think they
that
gave him
he
a fair
got.
deal considering what you're going to get
Yeah.
back. You're probably going to get your money back from that guy. I
Yeah,
thought it was a fair deal, but he thinks he's worth more. Maybe he'll go to Saudi Arabia, fight over there, and he's got all the talent in the world. But this comes to the big fights, are just not exciting, and I don't know what's going on there.
The one thing I find out about Shakir now is like, offensively, he's very weak. I mean, he's great defensively, 100%. He really needs to improve his offense here, man. Like, I mean, this is what's going to cost him eventually. This is what's going to bring him down, in my opinion. He hasn't fought the likes of a Tank or some of the bigger names.
Lomo.
There's a Lomo. Those guys will eat him up. I mean, defensively, he'll put up a fight. He'll put up a challenge, a great challenge for these guys, opposed to the other guys they fought. But I just don't see him coming through and being victorious if he doesn't do something with that offense side of it.
I'm pretty confident that both Tank and Lomo will beat him if they fight him.
Yeah.
So, at least the way he looked last time, maybe he'll shock us. But I mean,
we've seen weird things happen. We've sat here and said this guy doesn't look good anymore. This guy doesn't.
And he wins, yeah.
Like look at Lomo. We were both kind of like we want the best for Lomo, but he didn't look good in a couple fights leading up to the one against Haney. Kind of questioning, is he got the heart? Is he still there? Tactfully, skill wise, and kind of proved all of us wrong, right? I mean, it's kind of like Usyk, man. He keeps proving everybody wrong. Everyone keeps saying no, and he
wins.
Everybody, right? I mean, how can you bet against that guy now, even? But Shakir, yeah. So you think he ends up with Matchroom?
I think so. Eddie Hearn's the kind of guy that overpay for something. You know what I mean? Just to prove a point. And be careful how much you spend, Eddie, because I don't see you getting that money back unless he has get a big fight lined up for him. And so we'll see what happens. Well, I'd say Matchroom probably where he goes.
I think Eddie, well, I look at every organization. He just doesn't look like he'd fit into Queensberry and Frank Warren. That's too English for him.
Yeah, no, there's no, why would you want to go there? No.
Right. And then Al Heyman, I think that's a sinking ship, personally, right now at this moment in time. Who knows how they'll reverse it, but nothing exciting is coming out of Showtime at all, man.
No.
Nothing. And this wasn't even a Showtime fight. That's the weird thing. So, I mean, Eddie Hearns right now with Turkish, His Excellency beside him, he's killing it. So, I mean, if he's got Turkish's money to spend here, I guess we'll see Shakir over there because, I mean, other than that, what is it? Boxer, the other promotion in the UK? I don't see them getting him.
No, he's not going nowhere UK. He's an American. Why would he want to go UK? No, it's Golden Boy.
No. It's Golden Boy or Matchroom, but Matchroom is based out of the UK, as are the other.
But they do a lot more fights in America, though.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, the other thing I found interesting from Saturday night's fights was I never saw Eddie Hearn until the Boots fight. you always see him in the crowd. Like, that's the one thing I like to
Yeah.
do is like, see who's in the crowd. You always know where Eddie is. It was really interesting, and I haven't heard anything about it. But he was nowhere. He wasn't in the ring for any other fight. He wasn't there at the end of the Sky Nicholson fight. He was there for the Boots fight in the ring, but I didn't see him in the crowd all night. Very interesting. Very
Yeah, I
interesting.
don't know what he was doing there.
Well, they're cooking up something, man. And you know what? This gamble paid off. I mean, running it in the home of the Flyers and in the 76ers, they sold. I don't know if it was a sellout, but it looked pretty full. So he's probably very happy right now. So congratulations to
Yeah.
them. Congratulations
Yeah,
to
Boots looked absolutely phenomenal. Did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And good for him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds here, man. If they get this Boots Crawford fight happening, I hope it's before the end of this year. This would be the best time, man.
I hope so.
Well, I guess we got to find out to see what Terrence does in June 1st, right? Against
Yeah, he's got
Medal.
to pick it up.
So, let's see what he does there. If he does well there, I have a feeling this will happen in November, December in Saudi.
Hopefully, I'd like to see it.
100%. All right, brother, man, we got 4 rounds in the bag. I think we've had a really, really good, productive conversation. Anything happened today in the world of boxing or Canadian history?
We got nothing going on in Canadian history. Just like I told people last time, buy that book, Tiger's
Yeah.
Tale. Still doing well on the boxing charts for Amazon and stuff. So support that, because if you don't support it, it's going to fade out real quick into obscurity.
Yeah.
And then this week in boxing history, in 2007, one of my favorite fighters, Arturo Thunder Gotti, had his final fight against Alfonso Gomez. He got stopped in the 7th round in Atlantic City. He just got pummeled. He couldn't get up. Ref stopped the TKO. That was his last fight. He was already pretty much shot by then, but yeah, he wouldn't ever quit. He would never go down. He did go down on all 4, but the ref had to say that's it. So Alfonso Gomez finished off the 16-year career of Arturo Thunder Gotti this week in Atlantic City, 2007.
God rest his soul, man. One of the best. I always wonder what else he would have been able to accomplish. But mind you, he was near the end of his career here. But if you guys want, check out his son. He's on Instagram in his training. He looks good. He's young. It's a long way to go. But if there's any light at the end of that tunnel, we're looking at it through his son. Really good stuff there, man. Really good stuff with him. It's sad to have lost his father, but it looks like he's got good people around him raising him.
Gotti had a lot of problems out of the ring.
Yeah.
Drinking, alcohol, abuse.
I mean, wife.
Amazing fighter in the ring. Not the most skilled guy, just a brawler, come at you with tons of heart, exciting fights. None of this Shakur Stevenson boring crap. He went at it and he went hard. And but out of the ring, he was a wild man.
He was a wild man. All right, guys and gals, it's a beautiful weekend. I know it's really, really hard to stay inside and watch boxing, but I mean, here's the thing. This is going to be an interesting fight this weekend. Expect fireworks. It should be fun, hopefully. On that note, I am Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels. And
in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. So if you're going out and you're going to have a good time, please do enjoy it to the fullest. Just know your limitations and have a ride home, because we want you guys back here Tuesday to hear the show and Thursday to hear the show. Also, guys and gals, whatever you want to achieve in your life, work hard for it. Do not give up. Don't listen to the haters, because the haters hate themselves. And most importantly, do the things to change your life, not to justify your life. Samp and Chance are out.